The PowerPoint slide glowed on the dining room wall. I'd spent 3 weeks perfecting this presentation. My promotion to senior director. Finally, Miles had insisted on hosting dinner. "Let everyone see how proud I am," he'd said that morning. Click to slide 4. Revenue projections. Solid numbers. Wait, Miles interrupted, laughing. "You think that'll work?" Our 6 guests shifted in their chairs. Froze. "Ilara's adorable when she tries to sound corporate," he continued. "But honestly, you're too sensitive for leadership. Remember when you cried over that client email?" My throat tightened. The room went silent. I wasn't crying, I was. Defensive. He turned to our guest. "This is what I deal with." Someone cleared their throat. Our neighbor Claire whispered something to her husband. I stood there, presentation remote in my shaking hand, feeling my face burn. "Can we just finish?" Managed. Sure. But maybe simplify it. These people don't need the full MBA treatment." I clicked through the remaining slides in silence. Nobody asked questions. When I finished, the applause was polite, awkward. I walked to the kitchen and stood at the sink. Behind me, Miles laughed about something else entirely. Claire appeared beside me. Why would he say that? I couldn't answer. Miles called out, "She'll get over it." But I wouldn't. I didn't speak the rest of the night. Not during dessert. Not while clearing plates. Not when guests left with uncomfortable hugs and avoiding eyes. Miles kept talking, filling the silence with sports commentary and work stories. When the door closed behind the last guest, he turned to me. "What's your problem?" I didn't answer. I walked upstairs to our bedroom and pulled a small black notebook from my nightstand drawer. Miles followed. "You're being dramatic." "It was just jokes." I opened the notebook. Dated entries filled the pages. Tonight's humiliation needed recording. "What is that?" His voice changed. Uncertain. I wrote carefully. March 15th. Dinner party. Called me too sensitive in front of guests. Mocked my presentation. Said I'm not leadership material. "Ilara, what are you writing?" I closed the notebook and placed it back in the drawer. Miles stood in the doorway watching me. For once, he looked uncomfortable. "This is insane. You're keeping some kind of list." I climbed into bed and turned off my lamp. The room stayed dark and quiet. Miles eventually went downstairs. I heard the TV click on. My notebook had 47 entries now. 48 counting tonight. I'd started keeping it 6 months ago, after he told his mother I couldn't handle money. Tonight felt different though. Tonight felt final. Monday morning I checked my work email. The promotion committee should have received my formal application last week. Nothing in my inbox. I called HR. "Did you get my submission?" "No, Ms. Ilara. We show nothing from you." My stomach dropped. I'd sent it Thursday. Certified electronic delivery. "Can you check your spam folder?" "Already did." Nothing. I hung up and opened my sent folder. The email was there. Delivered. But then I noticed something. The timestamp showed 9:47 p.m. Thursday. I'd sent it at 2 p.m. Called IT. "Someone recalled your email," the technician explained. "At 9:45 p.m. Thursday from your personal account." That's impossible. I don't use my personal account for work. Well, someone did. The login came from your home IP address. I sat back in my chair. Home IP address. Thursday night. Been at book club. Miles had been home alone. "Can you show me the activity log?" Asked. The technician sent it over. Clear as day. My personal email accessed at 9:43 p.m. Logged in email recalled at 9:45 p.m. Logged out at 9:47 p.m. I opened my personal account and checked deleted messages. There it was. One deleted message from Miles to himself. "She doesn't need this stress." The lawyer's office smelled like leather and old books. I told Miles I was meeting my sister. "Privacy rights," I said to the lawyer across the desk. "If someone accesses your email without permission, She was maybe 50, sharp eyes, expensive suit. Her nameplate read, Victoria Cross Family Law. Is this about your husband? She asked directly. How did you? 90% of privacy cases I see are domestic. What did he access? I explained the recalled email, the fake message, the promotion application. Victoria leaned forward. Document everything. Everything. Every incident. Every conversation. Every suspicious activity. Dates, times, witnesses if possible. My notebook suddenly made sense. Is there a reason your husband would sabotage your career? She asked. I opened my mouth. Closed it. I don't know, I admitted. Then we need to find out. She slid her card across the desk. Call me when you're ready to know the truth. I took the card. Outside, I sat in my car for 10 minutes before starting the engine. Why would Miles sabotage me? My phone buzzed during lunch Tuesday. Unknown number. This is Claire. From dinner Friday. Hi, Claire. I need to apologize for not speaking up. I stirred my coffee. It's okay. It's not. Ilara, I need to tell you something. I paused. Miles talked to us before you arrived. He spent 20 minutes telling everyone you were too emotional to lead anything. My hand tightened around the phone. He said you'd probably embarrass yourself with the presentation. That we should just smile and nod. The coffee suddenly tasted bitter. Why are you telling me this? Because what he did was cruel. And because my husband works with someone Miles knows. Apparently, this isn't new behavior. What do you mean? Miles has been telling people for months that you're unstable. That you can't handle responsibility. That he has to manage everything. I set down my coffee cup carefully. Claire, can you write this down? What he said. The date and time. Of course. Ilara, are you okay? I will be. I hung up and pulled out my notebook. This entry needed detail. Miles hadn't just humiliated me Friday. He'd planned it. Rehearsed it. Set me up to fail. Wednesday morning I checked our joint bank account. Something felt wrong. There it was. A withdrawal for $8,000. March 10th. 5 days before the dinner party. I hadn't approved any withdrawal. That evening I made dinner. Chicken, rice, vegetables. Miles loved routine. How was work? I asked, setting his plate down. Fine. Busy. I noticed a withdrawal from our account. 1,000. Did you handle something? He barely looked up. Oh, that. Yeah, we agreed to open that account, remember? I sat down across from him. What account? The savings thing. For the house repairs. We'd never discussed house repairs. Or a savings account. Which bank? I asked calmly. Sterling Trust. Why? Just curious. After dinner I searched Sterling Trust online. Found the account lookup feature. Entered our information. One account appeared. Opened March 10th. $8,000 initial deposit. Account holder, Miles Whitmore. Just Miles. Not joint. Not both names. Just his. I took screenshots. Printed them. Added them to a new folder I'd created that morning. Miles called from the living room. You coming to watch TV? In a minute, I called back. I labeled the folder. Evidence. Thursday I checked my credit score during lunch. Something Miles said last month had been nagging at me. Something about our credit improving. The score loaded. My stomach turned. 6 months ago, I'd been at 720. Excellent credit. Years of careful payments. I clicked through the detailed report. 4 new credit cards. All opened in the last 3 months. All showing my name and social security number. Total balance. $37,000. I hadn't opened any cards. I called the credit bureau. Spent an hour on hold. Finally got through. These accounts show your signature on the applications, the representative said. Can you email me copies? They're available in your online portal. I logged in. Downloaded everything. My hands shook as I clicked through the PDFs. There was my signature. On every application. Except I'd never seen these applications before. The signatures looked right. Close enough. But the addresses were wrong. P.O. boxes I didn't recognize. One card was linked to a business. Whitmore Consulting Services. I'd never heard of it. I searched the business name. Found registration documents. Incorporated February 28th. Listed owner, Ilara Whitmore. That was my name. But I'd never incorporated anything. Friday morning my coworker Derek stopped by my desk. "Hey, how are you handling everything?" I looked up from my computer. "Handling what?" He shifted uncomfortably. "You know, the stress at home. Miles called last week." He seemed worried. My blood went cold. "Miles called you?" "Yeah. And Harrison. And I think Susan. He said you were mentally overwhelmed. That work was becoming too much with everything else going on." "What else going on?" Derek looked confused. "I don't know. He didn't specify. Just said you needed support." Closed my laptop carefully. "Derek, I'm fine. Miles had no right to call anyone." "He's your husband." He seemed genuinely concerned. After Derek left, I checked my calendar. My promotion board meeting, scheduled for next Tuesday, showed a new status. Postponed. Called HR. "Who postponed my meeting?" It was flagged for review. "Someone raised concerns about your current capacity." "Who raised concerns?" "I can't disclose that, but it came through an external contact." I hung up and texted Victoria. "We need to meet. Today." Miles started testing me that weekend. Small things at first. "You folded the towels wrong. This coffee tastes burnt. Why do you always talk so loud?" I didn't react. Just nodded. Fixed things. Stayed quiet. Drove him crazy. Saturday night, he criticized how I loaded the dishwasher. I reloaded it his way without comment. "You're being weird," he said. "How so?" "You're too calm. It's creepy." Smiled. "I'm just trying to be better." That seemed to satisfy him. But I could tell it bothered him. He wanted a reaction. An argument. Something he could record and use later. Gave him nothing. Sunday morning I woke at dawn. Miles was still sleeping. I went downstairs for coffee and noticed my purse wasn't where I'd left it. It was on the counter, not hanging on the hook. Opened it. Everything seemed normal. Wallet, keys, phone. But my checkbook was upside down. I always kept it right side up. Miles had searched my bag. I went back upstairs quietly. He was awake now, phone in hand, scrolling. "Morning," I said. "Morning." He didn't mention the purse. Neither did I. But that night, I slept with my notebook under my pillow. Monday afternoon, I was vacuuming under the couch. Something small and black caught my eye. Pulled it out. A digital voice recorder. Small, professional grade. My hands went numb. I took it to the bedroom. Closed the door. Press play. My voice filled the room. Conversations from the past 3 weeks. Me talking to myself while cooking. Me on the phone with my sister. Me crying in the bathroom after the dinner party. Then Miles' voice. Not talking to me. Talking to someone else on speakerphone. She's getting unstable. Mood swings. Irrational behavior. I'm documenting everything. A woman's voice responded. Do you have proof? Hours of recordings. She doesn't know. I'm building a case. For what? Divorce. But I need to show she's incompetent. Can't handle assets, finances, responsibility. That way I keep the house and she's liable for the business debts. My entire body went cold. When do you file? The woman asked. Soon. Maybe 2 months. I need more evidence first. The recording ended. I sat on the bed staring at the device. He'd planted it. Recorded me for months. Built a file of my worst moments. Called Victoria. I need to see you. And I'm bringing something you need to hear. Victoria listened to the entire recording. This changes everything, she said. He's planning to paint you as mentally unstable, take the house, and burden you with his business debts. Can he do that? Not if we move first. She pulled out a legal pad. Here's what we need. Proof of the secret business. Proof he forged your signature. Proof of the hidden accounts. All of it. I have some of that already. I showed her my evidence folder. The credit report. The business registration. The Sterling Trust screenshots. Victoria smiled. Not warm. Strategic. You've been busy. I had a feeling something was wrong. Good feelings. Now we need the business paperwork. If he used your identity to create it, that's fraud. Identity theft. Forgery. How do I get that? Carefully. Do you have access to his laptop? It's community property. Technically, yes. Then use that access. But Ilara, she leaned forward. Once you do this, there's no going back. You'll be filing for divorce, pressing charges, burning the bridge completely. I thought about Friday's dinner party. The recalled email. The 48 entries in my notebook. I'm ready. Tuesday evening, Miles went to his gym session. 2 hours every Tuesday and Thursday. Had time. His laptop sat on his desk. No password. He'd always trusted me not to snoop. I opened the file explorer and searched. Whitmore Consulting. A folder appeared. Clicked it open. Inside. Articles of incorporation. Business license. Tax forms. All listing me as owner and operator. All bearing my signature. I pulled up a recent document I'd actually signed. My real signature. Compared them side by side. Close but not identical. The loop on my was wrong. The tail on my too short. He'd traced and copied but not perfectly. I downloaded everything to a USB drive. Screenshots, documents, tax records. Then I found something else. A file labeled unpaid. Opened it. RS notice. Unpaid business taxes. $14,000. Plus penalties. All tied to my social security number. All accruing interest daily. Miles had created a business in my name, run it into debt, and left me holding the liability. Copied everything. Closed the laptop. Put it back exactly as I'd found it. Miles came home an hour later, sweaty and cheerful. Good workout. Yes. Great. What's for dinner? Leftover chicken. He never suspected a thing. Wednesday morning HR called. Your promotion interview has been rescheduled. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Finally. Thank you. I spent the evening preparing. Reviewed my presentation. Practiced answers. Set 3 alarms on my phone. Thursday morning I woke to find my phone calendar wiped clean. No reminders. No alarms. Nothing. I checked the activity log. Last access. Wednesday, 11:47 p.m. From home. Miles had deleted everything. I showed up to the interview anyway. 40 minutes late, flustered, but I showed up. The 3-person panel waited in the conference room. I'm so sorry. Technical issue with my calendar. It's fine, the director said. We understand things happen. I delivered my presentation from memory. The numbers, the projections, the strategy. They nodded. Took notes. Good questions. At the end, the director smiled. Impressive. Especially given the circumstances. What circumstances? The panel exchanged glances. Your husband called yesterday. He said you were reconsidering working full-time. That you wanted to focus more on home life. My throat tightened. He said what? That you were overwhelmed with the promotion timeline. He seemed concerned. Took a breath. Steadied myself. I never said that. I never asked him to call. And I absolutely want this promotion. The director studied me for a long moment. I believe you. That night, I waited until Miles came home from work. How was your day? He asked. Interesting. I had my promotion interview. All right. How'd it go? Fine. Until they mentioned you called them. His face didn't change. I was trying to help. Help how? By telling them I'm reconsidering full-time work. You've been stressed. I thought. You thought you'd sabotage me again. Now his expression shifted. Defensive. Aggressive. I protected you. That job is too much. You'll burn out. That's not your decision. Someone has to look out for you. You clearly can't. His voice rose. He paced. Pointed. You're ungrateful. I handle everything. The bills, the planning, the decisions. You'd fall apart without me. I stayed seated. Phone recording in my pocket. I've given you everything, he continued. A home. Stability. And this is how you repay me. By accusing me of sabotage. I'm not accusing. I'm stating facts. Facts. He laughed. Bitter. You can't even keep a calendar straight. You're a mess, Ilara. And everyone sees it but you. I let him rant. Every word recorded. Finally he grabbed his keys. I'm going out. Maybe when I get back, you'll have some perspective. The door slammed. Pulled out my phone. Stopped the recording. Sent it to Victoria. Then I texted, he just gave me everything I need. Friday night. Miles went to bed early, exhausted from a work project. I waited until I heard him snoring. Then I went to his laptop again. This time I searched deeper. Files he thought were buried. I found a folder titled Contingency. Inside, detailed plans. A draft divorce petition dated January 15th, 2 months ago. Filed in his name, citing my instability and financial mismanagement. Asset lists showing the house, the cars, the savings, all allocated to him. Debt lists showing the business taxes, the credit cards, all allocated to me. Email drafts to his lawyer discussing strategy. How to protect his assets. How to declare bankruptcy if needed. How to make sure I was liable for everything while he walked away clean. One email chain stood out. Correspondence with someone named J. Opened it. Personal messages. Emotional support. Miles venting about me. She doesn't understand me. I feel trapped. I deserve better. Not romantic. Not quite cheating. But intimate. Vulnerable. The kind of messages you don't send to just anyone. Jay responded with sympathy. Encouragement. You deserve happiness. You're doing the right thing. She sounds difficult. And then, buried in an email from February, I forged her signature on the business docs. She'll never notice. I screenshot everything. Saved it all. Miles had planned this for months. Every move calculated. But he'd made one mistake. He'd underestimated me. Saturday morning I contacted the bank. I need to freeze all joint credit cards. May I ask why? Suspected fraudulent activity. Identity theft. We'll need documentation. I have it. Can I bring it to a branch? Absolutely. I spent 2 hours at the bank. Showed them the credit report, the forged signatures, the business documents Victoria had helped me organize. The manager's eyes widened. This is serious. I know. We'll freeze the cards immediately. File a fraud report. You should also contact the police. I'm working with a lawyer. We'll handle that next. By noon, every joint card was locked. Joint account frozen pending investigation. I drove home. Made lunch. Waited. Miles came home at 3 p.m. Tried to buy groceries. His card declined. He tried another card. Declined. Called the bank. They told him the accounts were frozen due to fraud investigation. He sped home. Tires screeching into the driveway. I was sitting at the kitchen table. A folder in front of me. What did you do? He demanded. Protected myself. From what? I opened the folder. Slid documents across the table. From this. Miles stared at the papers. Credit reports. Business registration. Forged signatures. Tax documents. Screenshots of his emails. His face drained of color. Where did you get these? Your laptop. The one we share. Community property, remember. You can't, you had no right. I had every right. You committed fraud. Used my identity. Forged my signature. Built debt in my name. He grabbed the papers. Started flipping through them frantically. This is a misunderstanding. It's documented fraud. You don't understand business. I was trying to build something for us. Pulled out my phone. Played the recording from Monday. His voice clear as day. I'm building a case. She's liable for the business debts. His hand shook. Ilara, we can fix this. No, I said calmly. We can't. I stood up. Pulled another paper from the folder. Handed it to him. Divorce petition. Filed this morning. Citing fraud, financial abuse, and emotional manipulation. My lawyer called, I said. You'll be served officially Monday morning. You can't do this. I already did. He crumpled the paper. I'll fight this. I'll prove you're unstable. With what evidence? Your recordings. Have those too. Plus your emails planning to frame me. Plus 48 documented incidents of abuse. Abuse. I never touched you. Financial abuse. Emotional abuse. Controlling behavior. It's all documented. Miles looked at me like he'd never seen me before. Who are you? I'm the woman who finally stopped asking for your approval. Monday morning, a process server knocked on our door. Miles answered. Signed for the envelope. Inside, official divorce petition. Fraud charges. Identity theft report. Court date. He called me at work. I didn't answer. He texted, we need to talk. I didn't respond. That evening, I came home to find him sitting in the dark living room. My accounts are frozen, he said quietly. I know. My business partner pulled out. He says the fraud investigation makes me too risky. That's unfortunate. Jay blocked me. Told me she wants nothing to do with this mess. Wise choice. Miles looked up. His eyes red. My mother called. She heard the recordings. The ones I made of you. And she said I'm sick. That I need help. That what I did was unforgivable. I set my bag down. She's right. Ilara, please. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. Go to counseling. Start over. No. I'll do anything. There's nothing left to fix, Miles. You broke something that can't be repaired. He stood up. Desperate now. I love you. You loved controlling me. There's a difference. I walked upstairs. Started packing a suitcase. Miles followed. Where are you going? Apartment. Already rented. I move in Friday. This is my house too. Actually, it's not. Check the deed. My name only. Premarital asset. His face went white again. But we've been married 7 years. Which is why you'll get half the equity. But the house stays mine. Already cleared with the judge. I zipped the suitcase. Miles sat on the bed. Broken. How did this happen? You got comfortable. Thought I'd never fight back. I walked past him. Down the stairs. The door. Behind me, I heard him say one last thing. I'm sorry. I didn't look back. The next 2 weeks blurred together. Miles tried calling. I blocked him. He showed up at my workplace. Security escorted him out. He sent emails. I forwarded them to Victoria. Then the real consequences started. The IRS opened an investigation. The forged business documents triggered a fraud case. Miles had no defense. The evidence was overwhelming. Investigators contacted me. Asked for cooperation. I gave them everything. Meanwhile, his credit cards, still in his name only, maxed out. The Sterling Trust account. Frozen pending divorce proceedings. His car got repossessed. Couldn't make payments. His employer found out about the fraud investigation. Put him on leave. Everything he'd tried to do to me was happening to him. And I felt nothing. No satisfaction. No anger. Just relief that it was over. Victoria called one Tuesday afternoon. The judge approved the settlement. House is yours. He gets nothing from your retirement. You're liable for none of his business debt. What about him? Facing fines. Tax penalties. Possible charges for identity theft. His lawyer says he might plead guilty to avoid prison. Will he go to prison? Unlikely. But he'll pay financially for years. I hung up and looked around my new apartment. Quiet. Green. For the first time in 7 years I could breathe. Spring turned to summer. Life moved forward. Miles' family called occasionally. His mother apologized. Said she never knew he was capable of such things. His brother offered to help pay some of his fines. Miles refused. Pride probably. I heard through mutual friends that Miles lost the house eventually. Couldn't afford it alone after the divorce. His business partner sued him for damages. Another legal battle. Jay, the woman from the emails, sent me a message. I'm sorry. I didn't know he was lying about everything. Thank you for exposing him. I didn't respond. She'd chosen to believe him without question. That was her mistake to live with. Derek apologized for believing Miles' calls. You were right. He manipulated all of us. It's okay. He's very good at it. Work returned to normal. My promotion went through. I started leading my team in June. My first project, restructuring our internal communication protocols, making sure no one could sabotage others the way Miles sabotaged me. My boss praised my leadership. You've really come into your own. Thank you. I didn't tell her it was because I'd finally escaped someone who'd been suffocating me for years. One evening, Miles texted from a new number. Can we talk? Just once. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted it. Blocked the number. Some conversations aren't worth having. August brought another surprise. A letter from the court. The investigation was complete. Miles pled guilty to fraud and identity theft. Sentenced to 3 years probation. 5,000 hours community service. 30,000 in restitution, paid to me. I set the letter down. 30,000. For the business debts, the credit damage, the emotional toll. It wouldn't fix everything, but it helped. That same week, I got an email from my company's senior director. We're launching a mentorship program for women in leadership. Would you be interested in leading it? My dream role. Helping other women navigate workplace challenges. Teaching them to recognize manipulation. To document. To protect themselves. Accepted immediately. The first session started in September. 12 women. All smart, capable, struggling with confidence. One woman shared her story. Her husband criticized her constantly. Told her she wasn't good enough. Made her doubt herself. Listened. Recognized every pattern. After the session I pulled her aside. Document everything. Dates, times, specific incidents. You might need it someday. Her eyes filled with tears. You think I should leave him? I think you should be prepared. Just in case. She hugged me. Thank you. I drove home thinking about how many women were living my story right now. Trapped by someone who claimed to love them while slowly destroying them. If my story could help even one person escape, it was worth it. September turned to October. Fall arrived with cool air and changing leaves. I celebrated my first anniversary in my apartment. 1 year free. Claire invited me to dinner. We'd become close friends after everything. You look different, she said over wine. Different how? Lighter. Like you're not carrying weight anymore. She was right. I'd lost something heavy. Something I didn't even realize I'd been carrying until it was gone. How's Miles? She asked carefully. I don't know. I don't ask. Good. We talked about other things. Her kids. Her job. My mentorship program. Later, walking to my car, I saw Miles across the street. Just a glimpse. He didn't see me. He looked tired. Older. Worn down. Felt nothing. Not anger. Not pity. Just indifference. The best revenge wasn't his suffering. It was my freedom. I drove home and made tea. Sat on my small balcony. Watched the city lights. My phone buzzed. Text from my boss. Senior director role opening in January. You interested? My hand shook. Senior director. The promotion I'd been working toward for years. The one Miles tried to sabotage. Type back. Absolutely. Then I called my sister. Told her the news. You did it, she said. You really did it. I did. After we hung up, I sat there for a long time, thinking about the woman I'd been a year ago. Frozen at that dinner party. Humiliated. Broken. And the woman I was now. Oh. November brought the formal offer. Senior Director of Operations. Salary increase. Corner office. Full team. I signed the contract with steady hands. My start date. January 3rd. They threw a celebration lunch. My colleagues congratulated me. Genuinely happy. No one mocked my presentation. No one questioned my capability. No one told me I was too sensitive. Just respect. That evening I received an unexpected email. From Miles. Subject line, I'm sorry. I almost deleted it. But curiosity won. The email was long. Detailed. Honest, maybe for the first time ever. He admitted everything. The sabotage. The manipulation. The fraud. The recordings. I was terrified of losing control. Of you becoming successful enough to leave me. So I tried to keep you small. Keep you dependent. Keep you doubting yourself. I see now how sick that was. How much damage I did. I'm in therapy. Trying to understand why I became that person. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I just wanted you to know that you were right about everything. And I'm sorry. I read it twice. Then I closed the email without responding. His apology was for him. His healing. His growth. I didn't need to be part of that journey. I'd already moved on. Later that night I pulled out my old notebook. The one with 48 entries. 53 now. I'd added the final incidents before I left. I read through it one last time. Every criticism. Every manipulation. Every moment of doubt he'd planted. Then I closed it. Tomorrow I'd throw it away. I didn't need it anymore. The evidence had served its purpose. December came with holiday parties and year-end reviews. My team exceeded every goal. The mentorship program was expanding. My promotion was official. Life was good. One cold afternoon, I was leaving work when I saw a familiar face in the lobby. Miles' former business partner. The one who'd sued him. Ilara, he said, surprised. Hello. Congratulations on your promotion. I heard. Thank you. He shifted awkwardly. I wanted to apologize. For not seeing what Miles was doing. For being part of his schemes, even unknowingly. You didn't know. I should have. The signs were there. He paused. He cost me a lot. But he cost you more. He nodded. We both survived. We did. He smiled. You're stronger than I gave you credit for. Most people are. When they're finally free to show it. That night Victoria called. Final legal news. Miles completed his restitution payment. 30,000, deposited to your account. This case is officially closed. Thank you. For everything. You did the hard part. I just helped document it. Still. I couldn't have done this without you. Yes, you could have. You already had everything you needed. Evidence. Courage. Clarity. I just provided direction. After we hung up I checked my bank account. The 30,000 was there. I transferred half to savings. Put a quarter toward my retirement fund. Used the rest to book a vacation. Hawaii. 2 weeks. Just me. No one to criticize. No one to belittle. No one to sabotage. Just peace. January 3rd arrived clear and cold. Walked into my new office. Corner view. My name on the door. My team waited with coffee and bagels. A small celebration. To new beginnings, someone toasted. We clinked paper cups. My phone buzzed during the morning meeting. Email from the CEO. Ilara, we're launching a major initiative next quarter. New market expansion. I'd like you to spearhead it. Interested. My dream project. Everything I'd been working toward. I typed back immediately, yes. At lunch, I sat in my new office and looked out the window. The city spread below. Busy. Alive. full of possibility. My phone rang. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Later I checked it. Hi. I know I shouldn't call, but I heard about your promotion. I wanted to say congratulations. You deserve it. You always did. I'm sorry I couldn't see that before. Hope you're happy. Goodbye. I deleted the voicemail. Then I blocked the number. Not out of anger. Just closure. That evening I drove to my apartment. Quiet. I made dinner. Poured wine. Sat on my balcony. The city lights glowed. Somewhere out there Miles was probably struggling. Rebuilding. Dealing with consequences. I didn't wish him harm. But I didn't care about his journey anymore. My journey was forward. Free. I raised my glass to the skyline. Not because he fell, but because I finally stood. And I'd never kneel again.